Join me right now on Kumite TV. Back on the show is Eternal MMA flyweight contender Paul Loga. What's going on, Paul?
Not much, just stuck at work, waiting to finish, talking to you now.
All right, man. Well, what do you do for work, man?
I'm a concreter. I work for Place Corp in all the commercial high rises and stuff like that. So keeps me pretty busy.
Do you do a lot of lifting? Does it get you strong?
Yeah, it's a lot of physical work. It definitely does keep me fit. So, and add that on top of training, it definitely gets the job done.
There's no need for weightlifting for you.
No need for weightlifting. I cut out all sort of weightlifting and anything like that. Just sort of cardio is pretty much all I do.
All right. Well, let's get back to your last fight. You know, Eternal MMA 42. You took on Mitch or Shannon Ross for the
Yeah.
flyweight title. And talk about that fight. Must have been a great experience, a learning experience for you. Talk about the fight and your assessment of it.
Yeah, it was. It was a big test. I knew it would be. He's number one in Australia. So yeah, it was. It was very tough. Definitely learned a lot. I got a little bit emotional in that fight. Copped a lot of shots, a lot of cuts. Ended up busting my nose open pretty well. So yeah, just sort of learned this fight. I want to try and stay a lot calmer, not so get so aggressive, and sort of chase people as often. And maybe the last fight I sort of stayed on my feet maybe a little too long instead of mixing it up. So hopefully we can learn from that and bring it into this one.
Leading up to that fight, were you feeling 100%? Were you feeling confident, or were you in your head too much? Were you overthinking? Do you feel?
I don't think I was overthinking. I was in the best shape of my life. Like there's no excuses. Shannon did an awesome job of getting me out of there as well. So no excuses. My body was healthy. I was ready to go, and the shit happens. I guess I got caught with a shot and busted my nose up, and he's followed up with a whole heap of punches, and the ref had to jump in.
That was in March. How long did it take you to kind of like heal your wounds and get back into training?
Took me about probably a month before I could actually spar again and get hit in the nose, and the cuts were still a bit raw. But I had I just put a headgear on and sort of got back into it. So yeah, I didn't want to stay out too long. MMA, they got short memories, so got to keep my name fresh in there.
Now, what did you focus on when you got back to training?
I was sort of just starting to have fun again while I was training. That last camp was super mentally and physically exhausting, so I was just sort of having fun at training. Going back, hanging out with the boys, sort of fixing up little bits and pieces where I can, and yeah, just sort of enjoying it again. That last camp really took it out of me mentally. Same with the fight. The fight took a little while for me to come back. I was a little bit sad, a little bit upset, down in the dumps. But once I got back to training, and now that I've been matched up and I've been concentrating on this one, I feel on top of the world again, ready to go. I've got a goal.
What adjustments, to your training camp have you made going into this fight compared to your title fight?
Probably uh, it's pretty well the same, but like I said, just keeping my emotions in check, trying not to chase them too much. I'd like to have exciting fights, and sometimes that can be my downfall. But it's good to watch. But for me, I think I need to be a lot more composed and pick my shots a lot better and go back to mixing up the grappling with my striking instead of turning it into a striking match with 4 ounce gloves on.
Are there any tweaks to like your regimen, your training regimen you've made? Like have you added like a different diet plan? Like how fighters will change things up a little bit?
Yeah, the last fight camp I worked with Geordie, the fight dietitian, and he's on board again. The last one was the first time we done it together. So this time I feel like the diet's a lot more dialed in, and like he's got everything on track for me. My weight's going well. I feel awesome. Like I've never felt better right now, like diet wise as well, and my body's reacting well to it. So yeah, I look forward to this one. I think you'll see a lot more composed and calm fighter in there this time round.
Let's talk about this upcoming fight. You're the main event again, right? How does it feel to be the
Yeah,
main event again? They got a lot of confidence in you.
Yeah, I do appreciate Cam and Ben and the whole Eternal crew for getting me back on. And yeah, it's nice to be recognised for the years that I put in, I guess. So yeah, I try and put on exciting fights, and it's finally starting to get recognised. So yeah,
You're facing
uh,
Steve Erceg. Talk about him and what type of style matchup he poses for you.
he's technically very sound. He's very composed, which is what I need to be. I watched him fight live against Tim Moore in his last one. It was a very impressive performance. You know, he put Tim away, which is very tough to do, as I've experienced fighting him and losing to him. So, yeah, Steve will be a big challenge for me, and I look forward to getting in there and testing myself against him.
Yeah, that last performance, I think Steve went in there as the underdog, and people were pretty shocked that he took out Tim
Yeah,
Moore like that. Were you as shocked?
yeah, I was. I was really shocked. I think Tim was out for a year. Maybe that played into it. But yeah, Steve fought an awesome fight. I was watching it cage side and I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, fuck, this dude is really good. And yeah, straight away I was thinking, geez, I hope I get to fight him one day. And here we are again.
Preparing for Steve, who have you brought in or who have you been working with closely to get yourself ready for this fight?
I've been working with Eric Simmons, my wrestling coach, and Michael Gaffey. And obviously my head coach, Marcus Collins, as well. Been working a lot on, he's really good on the ground, top control, and he's really good at mixing his striking and distance with his takedowns. He's got good fight IQ, so I've been working on, you know, stuffing takedowns, working on my own shots, my striking, my distance. So hopefully yeah, it should all go well. I'm confident. I'm very confident. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Has Eternal expressed to you that if you do win this fight, you could probably get a rematch with Shannon Ross?
I would say so. I would say so. I hope so. I hope so. If Shannon doesn't get picked up by a bigger promotion, which I think he should, he's fought everyone and done everything in Australia. But if he doesn't, I'd love a rematch if I can get past Steve, which I'm planning to do. You know, who wouldn't want to redeem themselves after a loss? So, yeah, that's sort of my goal at the moment, to knock over Steve and shoot for Shannon.
All right, one last thing before I let you go. UFC 243 is coming up in early October in Melbourne. You got the title fight, the biggest fight in the region in history. Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya. What is your prediction on this fight, and what is your breakdown of the fight?
I got to go for Whittaker after watching Kevin Gastelum fight Izzy the last one, and how he landed not so easily, but he did land. And Whittaker seems to be a lot bigger, a lot more explosive, big, better wrestler, and no, he got the job done. Obviously, Izzy's a bit of a freak fighter, isn't he? He's just get it done. So it should be an exciting fight, but I'll be rooting for Whittaker, obviously.
All right, September 7th, Eternal MMA 47, main event. Thanks, Paul, for
Till
the
then,
time, and good luck on the fight and your future, man.